We're live. Are we live? I think we're live. I hope we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulous. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. What opens with Vivica Fox kind of giving an intro of the stage play, Two Can Play That Game, sort of, kind of, and what closes with an outro of season 10 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you guessed The Real Housewives of Atlanta or read it on the little thumbnail thingy, season 10, episode 18, Nightmare on Peachtree Street, the finale, the season finale. You're correct. Thank you so much for clicking on the video or jumping in live and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of those other good things that help us meet one of our first big goals of getting to 1,000 subscribers. Yay! All right, let's go. So and we're gonna have a 3-part reunion coming up the next 3 weeks. But the season was only 18. See, I thought it was 83 million, so we're already ahead. Boop, boop. So we're at Dish Network. That's where Portia works, her radio show gig, TV show thing. And Portia and her colleagues are there. And Vivica Fox is the guest. Brad is one of her colleagues. The guy who was skating with her last week. I think he was there. I don't know. But they're talking about Two Can Play That Game, starring P. Willie. Oh, P. Willie, Portia Williams. I'm like, P. Willie, who that is? And she has Vivica Fox says that Portia has slayed the role of Connie. She says she was serious from day one, and her outfits have been slayed. Did she use slayed twice? And Portia says she's been on the road, and now she's in her hometown of Atlanta, and it's opening night for Atlanta coming up. Whoop, whoop. So they're super excited, and they're promoting the show. We see Candy and Ace meeting up with Eva and her baby Marley at a pumpkin patch. And Marley is 3. Ace, I think, is almost 2. They're really, really cute, weren't they? Oh, the babies, they're so cute. And they're having a play date, and Candy is like, we get along great in terms of Eva. She's really down to earth. I don't know why she got the nickname Eva the Diva. I've only seen her be very cool and down to earth. And then they get to chat, and we realize that it's Eva's birthday coming up and that it's Halloween time. That's why they're at a pumpkin patch. And that Eva says that she usually does a Halloween thing for her birthday. Thank you for the like. She usually does a Halloween thing for her birthday, but she just moved to Atlanta. She not really sure what's going on. And Candy's like, well, you should do something even if it's small. We love to play dress up, talking about her and the other women, and they show some footage of them, dressing up for stuff. And then they work on the guest list together, and we know it's going to be all of the women. So Kim and Nene are both there, but we know that that's going to be a potential problem. And then Eva says that she's cool with Portia, so she don't have no problem with Portia coming. And Candy's like, well, shoot, I just came from an intense stream. Oh, need some positive energy. Peace, sis. Going to hang out here for a minute and hear about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You'll be up to speed. You'll probably be watching the reunion next week. But welcome. I think it's just the 2 of us. Okay. I don't know how positive. Well, but anyway, let's just go. Oh, goody. Yay. The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah. Okay. So, they work on the guest list together. Candy is cool with Eva inviting whoever, even though she not really, she and Portia have her challenges. We see Cynthia and Nene. They're out shopping for costumes for Eva's party. They meet up with Eva, and we see a flashback of Candy and Eva at the venue that they're going to have the party at. Now, it's a church, and they say it's a decommissioned church. I don't know how you decommission a church, but, I don't know. So that's where they're going to be. And then we find out that Needy and Greg will be dressed up as a duo. We already know from the previews what they're going to be dressed up as a duo as. So they're going to be dressed up as a duo. And then that Will is going to be coming with Cynthia, that Kim and Candy made up, and that Candy does not think that Kim is racist. Okay, Candy, if you say so. Cynthia asked about Nene and Portia having alone time. That they were at something and they were, kind of talking alone. And she thinks that Nene wants to organize a group apology for Portia to make an apology to the group. I don't think I'm necessarily a fan of that. But anyway. So then we're at Sheree's place and Candy arrives. And you let Portia get dogged out so when Candy comes in, she's like, girl, I can't believe that you let Portia get dogged out for having a small placemat and you have no placemat at all. So anyway, I thought that was funny. And Sheree is like, well, I have to order my placemat, so it's being specially ordered and special made or whatever. She has to get it customized. And then she said that she had invited everyone to see her finished basement, the man cave that does not have a man in it because her man is... I don't even know if that's her man, but the man she's dealing with is in federal prison. So I guess she considers it her man. Okay, so she had invited everyone, but a lot of people can't come. But Candy is there. They're in the basement. Cynthia arrives. They ooh and ah. Oh, it's so wonderful. It's so magnificent. It's so beautiful. It's so luxurious. They do all of that. And Sheree, she says she wants to show IKEA Cynthia what real furniture looked like. Now, I saw the child on Watch What Happens Live, Kenya, and she's like, well, we're just throwing shade, and I didn't take it serious except for something. I don't know if I could just handle, people just out there just talking about me like that. I wouldn't think it was funny. I don't know. Maybe I would. Maybe I have a better sense of humor than I think. But, so they talking about, she said she wanted Cynthia to get a chance to see some real furniture. And then Candy says in her interview, everywhere I look in this basement looks like money. And we know that the man that she's dealing with is in jail for embezzling millions and millions of dollars from people. And all of a sudden now the woman has money to fix up her basement in this extravagant way. Maybe these millions of dollars are all over the basement. Candy said everywhere she looks, she sees money. And she says, ha ha, it was like a whole weird thing. I'm like, girl, you trying to get your friend set up? Sheree has arranged for massages for the ladies, and then Sheree tells the group that when Portia left for Spain that she called Shamia and told Shamia to not trust any of them, not even Sheree. And Sheree is really upset and disturbed because she feels like she's really gone hard for Portia in the group to have people be nice to her and forgive her and all of this other stuff. So she's just really, really upset. And she said that she is pushing breakup. She gonna break up with Portia. I don't know what that was. But anyway, Cynthia's like, well, Portia still has Kim, so that's good. And Sheree is like, nope, Kim was only dealing with Portia because of me. And Cynthia's like, oh, so it's a package deal? And I'm like, y'all are so silly. We 45-50. This how we roll. Okay, ladies. So then we see Portia plus 2 at the stage door. She's doing her stage play. That's really exciting. She goes into hair and makeup, and her sister is there. And she says this is where she's supposed to be. When she dreamed of being an actress, she never dreamed here, but here she is. At the Fox Theater performing with these actors that, she's looked up to for years. So that's really sweet. It's always, to me, it's nice. Because a lot of these women on these reality shows wanted to be actors, wanted to be. So, it's nice to see some of them getting the opportunity to explore that. So I like that. Even though Portia is not my favorite. And we see Kenya and Cynthia arriving at Portia's show, and Shamia is there. I'm not really clear about that, but I do see her in the audience. And then Kenya in her interview is like, she's like, well, it's really good for Portia to... I don't know. It's like she couldn't even fake the funk. She couldn't come up with something to say. Girl, we went to Cass. You know how to come up with something to say. I'm just joking. But then later she says that Portia, by playing a hoe, she's basically playing true to form. So it's not really much of a stretch. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the things we say about people. I don't know if I could take it. Then we see Candy. She's singing. She sounded really nice. Everybody makes jokes about Candy. And and a man love a woman, and that's how she sounds. But her voice sounded all, it sounded melodic, or I don't know what the proper term is, but it didn't sound so deep and masculine. It sounded nice. But she was playing around because, she's getting ready to go on tour, and her baby, little cute baby Ace and her husband Todd come in, and they're talking about, kind of all of the stuff going on. The escape tour that she's going to be going on. And then right after she finishes the escape tour, literally, she's going to Broadway for, I think she's doing Chicago. And she says that, the tour goes right until Ace's birthday. And she's hoping that her husband is going to be there to support her. She says she doesn't want to be alone on the tour. And Todd is kind of like, well, what do you mean? Because the kid, baby girl is in school. Riley is in school and, blah, 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 blah. And, Candy is like, well, I'm hoping that you will basically be there and that my mom can go back and forth with the kids as needed. So I guess that's the luxury that she has of, and I guess he has that luxury too. I don't exactly know what type of work he does. I don't know if he's producing any shows right now, but I guess she like, I want you to come on tour with me. So you better come on tour. And Todd's probably going to go on tour with her. But see, I like that. You can take me on tour. She like, I don't want you to go on tour. I want Todd. So Todd is like, well, do you think the girls will come in terms of the other women on the show? And she's like, he said, since Portia's in a play, blah, 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 blah. And Candy's like, I'm not going to Portia's play, but I'm glad that Portia is in a play because when she was in the show that we did, I thought that she did really well. So it's nice that she's still, doing that thing. And Todd is like, you're a really special kind of woman. And I think in a way, Candy is a special kind of woman because I think that compared to a lot of the other women that we see on these shows, I think she's very secure because she is financially established and she's established career-wise. Like she is a Grammy Award-winning songwriter. Like there's no shade there. She has a successful career in that. She's not a has-been in that. The work that she's doing, her businesses are thriving. Her restaurant is thriving. She's, I think she's secure in herself. And I think, just in terms of her personality, she's like a relatively nice enough woman that she's not petty or, I think I like Candy. I think she's one of my favorites. So then we see Kenya, she's talking about the show, after the show. She's like, well, Vivica's performance is the same as it was 20 years ago. And this is one of my favorite movies. Two Can Play That Game. So they've made it into a stage play. So she said, 20 years ago, I guess that's when it was a movie. Or I don't know if it is, but she said, Vivica's performance, as in Vivica A. Fox, it's the same as it was 20 years ago. She's just, and 20 surgeries ago. She's just 20 surgeries later. And I'm like, ooh, Kenya, girl. Okay, so then we had, and all that shade throwing, it seemed like you would just, I don't know. It's how do you keep friends like that? How do you keep relationships being so mean to people? And then we see, and even if you don't say it, that's how you think about things, Kenya. Then we see Kenya and Cynthia, and they come back to Portia's dressing room, and she's going to Orlando, DC, and Houston next, so the tour continues. And then Shamia is in the dressing room. Portia is surprised that Sheree is not there because she thought she and Sheree were cool. And she wants to know why Sheree didn't come out. Then we're at Eva's Halloween birthday party thing. And, they're setting up for the party. And then we see that Eva is an Egyptian. I didn't really know what she was supposed to be. I thought it was Nefertiti. But it turns out that she was Cleopatra. And then other folks are arriving. Candy and Todd and 50 Cent arrives. Cynthia arrives dressed as 50 Cent, and everybody is just really surprised. Like, she really buys into her character. It's like, she got her tattoo, she got on her sagging pants, she got a beard and mustache on her face, and it seems like she's really throwing people off. Like they think, who is this? And she's really playing the role, so she's having fun with that. Candy is Pennywise from some movie. I guess I'm familiar with the concept of the movie, but I didn't see it. So she's Pennywise. And Todd is there. I don't know what he is. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, Cynthia has her tattoo, her do-rag, her sagging pants. Candy is like, you look like a dude. And then she's got a C unit hat on instead of a G unit hat. I guess that's something to do with 50 Cent. And then Kenya is a Victoria's Secret angel on Watch What Happens Live. She says she was a chocolate angel. And then in comes Croy and his wife. And Kenya is like, what is this crazy mask that Kim is wearing? Oh, it's just her new face. Now, that was kind of funny to me, I guess, because I don't really care for Croy's wife. So you can say a lot of things about her and I wouldn't, be offended. Because she's so offensive, right? And then we see Will and Noelle are there. They're interacting. I guess it's their first time meeting. I don't know when they got there. Had they been there the whole time? Do you know? Croy is Hugh Hefner and his wife is a Playboy bunny. Marlo and her friend Raymond arrives as a sugar daddy. I found out later from Watch What Happens Live that she was Babs. She was one of the characters on Babs. That's that movie that Halle Berry and the other woman were in. I've seen the movie, but I didn't know who Marlo was supposed to be. And then Shamia and Portia. Oh, not Shamia and Portia. Portia and her sister are zombie brides. Was Shamia there? I don't remember. Sheree is telling Marlo that she's upset because Portia told the girls not to trust Sheree. And Marlo is like, well, you should address that because, Marlo is always here for mess and confusion. I'm still with you, sis. Don't know what you're talking about, but still with you. It's not, I don't know if it's positive energy or not. Let us pray for the ladies of the Real Housewives. The characters that they play, they're probably not like this in real life. They're just pretending to be like this. Nene comes, she's an exterminator. Wait a second. So Marlo is like, you should address that. And then 50 Cent says, as Portia grinds against her, that she could tap Portia's big behind if she wanted to. Now, all this season, Cynthia has been doing this, wannabe lesbian thing. So I guess she continues with this theme. Nene comes as an exterminator and arrives with Greg as the Big Roach in reference to the whole Big Roachgate scandal where the white woman said that the black woman had roaches in her house. But these are women who live in big expensive, she ain't got no roaches in her house. It was just a whole bunch of mess and confusion. But her daughter took pictures, blah, 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 blah. So in honor of the Roachgate scandal, Nene has shown up to let her know that she is not bothered. And not only is she not bothered, but I think that you're a joke. You're funny to me. And so Croy's wife in the interview is like, I don't even want to talk about this biatch. And then Portia is like, oh my gosh, that's the best thing. Hashtag petty couple goals. And Nene is like, we are laughing at you, Croy's wife. The joke is on you. And Sheree goes over to Croy's wife and Sheree is cracking up. And, Croy's wife is not very amused. Croy's wife says that Nene had to be a roach, and Eva excuses herself, and then Croy's wife is like, Eva's not even a cute Cleopatra, and trying to say that Sheree is a better Cleopatra because they were both dressed as Cleopatra. And then Shady Bravo does interviews with 3, 4, 5 of the women and asks them who was the better Cleopatra. And Nene, Portia, and Cynthia, or I guess those are the only 3 they asked. They basically all say that Eva was the better Cleopatra. And like the guy said on the TV, they were both cute as Cleopatra or whatever. They were cute. I mean, cute enough, whatever they were doing. It don't have to be a competition, but, Kim trying to be like, oh, she's not even, that was just a lie. Because if there was a competition, she wouldn't have won it. Cynthia's getting her fortune read, and the fortune teller is saying that someone in your life wants to be closer to you, but they're not going away. So she's like, oh, I know who you're talking about. She's thinking about Will. Then Sheree confronts Portia, and Shamia explains that she told Sheree about the text because Portia's like, how did she even know about that? And then Sheree is trying to ignore and dismiss Portia's sister, who's trying to get in and defend her sister. And Portia is like, you know, you can't judge anyone. She says that to Kim. You can't judge anyone, Kim, you know, because we know Kim have her issues. And you can't judge anyone's character or whatever. And then Sheree is like, Sheree doesn't think that Portia knows how to be a friend. And Portia's talking to her sister when Nene comes up. And Nene's like, what's up? And Portia's like, they're playing, let's make Portia look crazy again. And Nene is like, well, you know, I told you what you need to do to take the power away. You need to just do a group apology. Let them say whatever they have to say. And then the next time they bring it up, it's already been brought up. So it's nothing else to say. And Portia had already said on the last episode, the only thing that I have for them is my behind to kiss. It's a really big behind and they can each have a spot to kiss. And she basically reiterated that again. She's not really here for this, you know, group apology. And I agree. Somebody said today Kenya said today, the whole firing squad thing. I'm like, I'm not here for it. And she's not sorry. So I don't know why she need to apologize. Why fake the funk? You can't really fake the funk good when it's fake. When you faking the funk, it's some funky faking. Really? LOL. Okay, I'm going to stop playing and messing with your broadcast. I'll just listen quietly. What? Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Okay. So Nene is like, you know, take the power away. Portia's like, you know, I don't really value these relationships basically. So there's no point in me apologizing to them because I don't really care, which she really doesn't. So I think that's honest. I appreciate that. And then Marlo comes up and she's like, hey, you know, in Spain, you were drinking the Henny. I was drinking whatever I was drinking. And, you know, I think we should just... And Portia is really just not here for the apology. So Marlo is trying to apologize. Portia won't even look up at her. And then Portia walks away. Marlo proceeds to follow Portia around. And Portia's like, I go to the gym. I work out. I can walk around this party all night. Can you, Fat Marlo? Or she didn't say Fat Marlo, but that's what she meant. I was like, oh my gosh. So, you know, Portia is like, you know, she's following me around. Portia, you're trying to provoke me because, you know, Portia has gone to anger management. Marlo is like, you've had worse arguments with others, you know, trying to get her peach. And then Marlo says she will never apologize to Portia again. And I'm sure Portia's like, I don't care. Nene is still trying to get Portia to apologize. And Portia still feels like she owes no apologies and they can all kiss her butt. And then Candy and Eva are trying to break the tension. They're like, okay, let's talk about who won the costume contest. So the winner is, the first person we want to bring up is Marlo. She got the runner up. Did you think Marlo's costume was number 2? I did not. And then Cynthia is the winner. And then it's basically, again, the end of the season. So we start to roll the little summaries of the people. I wrote down some things. If I missed anything important, you have to let me know. But we have Nene. She says that her advice is to keep going. And Nene says she's back on the road because we know she had the thing where she got kicked off of the tour for telling the woman that she hoped that they get raped by that Uber driver, or the Uber driver get their kitty cat. Not kitty cat, they Hello Kitty. So anyway, she's pushing on, which is good. That's what she needs to do. Portia is like, she did 12 cities with the play. I don't think there was anything else important. Candy is like, they're talking about doing an old lady gang food truck. She's back on touring from Broadway. Sheree is like, Tyrone did not get the early release, which we already knew, because we just already know. And then Kenya is like, she doesn't know. They don't know if the Dailies are going to have their home in New York or Atlanta. So that was it. That was the end of that season 10 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know what I give the season. It was okay. I guess I'm used to the women. I'm really excited that Potomac is back. And I watched, what was this thing? Your Husband is Cheating on Us. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to do like a quick little recap chat about that, because you know, I feel like theater people are dramatic anyway. And so you could just put a camera in any rehearsal and it would be very funny and interesting. And then this group, you figure on the chitlin circuit, it's just all kinds of, you know, an even higher level of drama. I don't know if there is, but so anyway, that's it. I don't know what I give the season. I probably give the season like a B minus. I'm really curious to see if the same white people who are now producing the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I forgot the name of their company, if they're producing Potomac and Married to Medicine, like did they take over all of the black shows on Bravo? Bravo is their network, so you know they can do what they want to do. But I just got kind of curious tonight, and I didn't get a chance to Google it. So we got 3-part reunion, and we'll be back next week for that. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Be you, be fabulous, you. Thank you so much for the likes. And I think that's all I got. Peace.